In this video, we will solve problems involving angles formed by parallel lines and transversals. Parallel lines are two lines that will never touch, two lines that have the same slope. These two lines right here would be examples of parallel lines. If we extended them, they would never touch or intersect. This other line, the third line in this diagram, is called a transversal. It's a line that crosses the two parallel lines. And when we have two parallel lines and a transversal, 8 angles are formed. And if we know one of those angles, we can actually find all the rest. Let's say I know angle 1 is 150 degrees. Since angle 1 and angle 2 form a straight line, they would add up to 180 degrees. So if I do 180 minus 150, I get 30. So angle 2 would be 30 degrees. Now, angle 1 and angle 4 are across from each other when we have two intersecting lines. Those are vertical angles, so angle 4 would also be 150. And angles 2 and 3 are vertical angles, so angle 3 would also be 30. Now, because these lines are parallel, if I copied those 4 angles from above and pasted them onto the 4 angles below, I would get the exact same angles. So angle 5 is also 150, so is angle 8, and angles 6 and 7 are also 30 degrees. If I take a pair of angles, any two angles in this diagram, I would either get two angles that are congruent, which means they're the same or equal measure, or I would get two angles that are supplementary, meaning they would add to 180 degrees. And we're going to name the angle pairs in this section. We're going to define some vocabulary terms for the special angle pairs when you have two parallel lines and a transversal. And every pair of angles will either be congruent or supplementary. The first term we're going to define is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are in the same spot. So angle 1 is the top left angle of this cluster of 4 angles up above. And if I go to the 4 angles down below, the top left spot is angle 5. So angles 1 and 5 would be corresponding angles. Another pair of corresponding angles would be 2 and 6. Those are both in the top right spot of the cluster. And another pair would be angles 3 and 7. And also angles 4 and 8. And if I take any pair of corresponding angles, like for example angles 1 and 5, they are congruent. They have the same measure. Alternate interior angles are two angles that are inside the parallel lines on alternate sides of the transversal, or opposite sides of the transversal. So when I talk about interior angles, we are looking at the angles inside the parallel lines. So angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 are interior angles because they're between the parallel lines, inside them. Now, alternate interior angles need to be on opposite sides of the transversal. Here's our transversal. So a pair of alternate interior angles would be angles 3 and 6 because they are on opposite sides of that transversal and they're interior angles. It kind of makes a Z shape, like those inside corners of that Z. So 3 and 6 would be a pair of alternate interior angles. And then our other pair of alternate interior angles would be 5 and 4. And if we look at angles 3 and 6, we can see that they are two acute angles. Alternate interior angles are also congruent. 5 and 4 are both obtuse. Those are also congruent. So alternate interior angles are always going to be a pair of congruent angles when you have two parallel lines and a transversal. Same side interior angles, we're still looking at interior angles inside the parallel lines, but same side of the transversal. So remember, this is our transversal, and on the same side of that line, we would have angles 5 and 3. So that would be a pair of same side interior angles, and our other pair would be angles 6 and 4. And this time, if I look at angles 3 and 5, they don't look the same. Angle 3 is an acute angle. Angle 5 is an obtuse angle. So they're not congruent this time. They're going to be supplementary, meaning they add to 180 degrees. The next pair is alternate exterior angles. So now we are looking at exterior angles outside the parallel lines. So angles 1, 2, 7, and 8 are our exterior angles. And alternate means they are on alternate sides of our transversal. So, for example, angle 1 and angle 8 are on opposite sides of the transversal, so those would be a pair of alternate exterior angles. And another pair would be angles 2 and 7. And just like alternate interior angles, they're going to be a pair of congruent angles. If I look at angle 1 and angle 8, those are both obtuse angles, and they are congruent. And our last definition, same side exterior angles. So again, we're looking at these outside exterior angles, 1, 2, 7, and 8. But this time the same side of the transversal. So angles 1 and 7 would be same side exterior angles, and 2 and 8 would be same side exterior angles. And looking at those angles, angle 1 is an obtuse angle. Angle 7 is acute, so they don't appear to be congruent. They must be supplementary. So with all our angle pairs, corresponding alternate interior and alternate exterior always form congruent angle pairs, and then our same side interior and same side exterior form supplementary angle pairs. Let's look at some examples. Given M is parallel to N, find the value of X and Y. Well, I know I have a 65-degree angle up here, and if I look at angle Y, it's corresponding to that angle 65. Y and 65 are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are congruent, so this is also going to be 65 degrees. Now to find the measure of angle X, the 65-degree angle and X form a straight line. That means those two angles are supplementary, or they add to 180. So if I do 180 minus 65, we get 115. So X is going to be 115 degrees. So we would say X equals 115 and Y equals 65. Number 2, given M is parallel to N, find the value of X and Y. In this problem, we have two expressions with the variable X in an angle right here and an angle right here, and those angles are corresponding. And we know that corresponding angles are congruent. And since they're congruent, I'm going to set those expressions equal to each other. I'm going to put an equal sign in the middle of them. So I'm going to say 2x plus 8 is equal to 3x minus 18. And I'm going to solve. So I will subtract 2x from both sides, and we get 8 is equal to 3x minus 2x is 1x minus 18. And 1x is just x, so I might rewrite that as just 8 equals x minus 18. And then I add 18 to both sides. and we get x is equal to 26. Now we found the variable x. That's part of our answer, but we also need y. So to do that, I'm going to plug x back into these expressions. That will also help me check and make sure I solved it correctly. If I plug in x right here, I'm going to do 3 times 26 minus 18, which is 78 minus 18, and that gives me 60. So this angle is 60 degrees. Now if I also plug it into this bottom expression, I should get the same thing because these are supposed to be congruent angles. So 2 times 26 plus 8 is 52 plus 8, which is also 60. So that confirms that I solved it correctly and got 2 congruent angles. Now to find the measure of the angle with the y in it, that angle forms a straight line with this 60-degree angle, so they would add to 180. So I can do 180 minus 60 is 120. So this must be a 120-degree angle, meaning y is equal to 120. Number 3, given L is parallel to M, which is parallel to N, find the value of X. Well, when I look at the two angles that have the expressions in them, this angle up here is acute, this one is obtuse. They don't look like they're congruent. And since these are two same side interior angles, though that angle pair is a pair of supplementary angles. So in this problem, I'm not going to set them equal to each other like I did in the last problem. I'm not going to do x minus 2 equals 3x plus 2. That's not going to work. Instead, I'm going to add them together and set it equal to 180. So I'm going to do x minus 2 plus 3x plus 2 equals 180. So I added those expressions together and set it equal to 180. Now I'm going to simplify on the left side by combining like terms. I can add x and 3x and get 4x. Remember, this is 1x. Now minus 2 and plus 2 make 0, so those are going to cancel out. So I get 4x equals 180, and I divide both sides by 4, and I end up with x equals 45. And if I plug that back in, just to make sure that everything works out, 45 minus 2 is 43. So this angle would be 43 degrees. And if I plug it in right here, 3 times 45 plus 2 is 135 plus 2, which is 137. And if I add 43 plus 137, I get 180, and that confirms that I solved it correctly, and x equals 45 is my answer.